Hello, people of YouTube, and welcome back. So, I've got a bit of a bumper bloody episode, I think, here. I just realised how much I just put in front of myself. I was trying to keep to like 10 games, but yeah, I've kind of gone a bit overboard. So, yeah, my year long of collecting is coming to an end. Not an end, it's not really, because I've still got loads to show. To be honest, a lot of this is more of my more recent pickups, but yeah, I thought I'd show you them anyway. Um, yeah, I'm trying to keep it a bit more varied this time. What do you prefer? Would you prefer it to be more genre based, like not genre, console based, or is the more mixed and varied stuff better? Yeah, so I've got Super Nintendo, PS4, just one PS4. Don't worry about that. It's not completely retro. Got to have a bit of a mix. PS2, Super Nintendo, and PC Engine. So yeah, shall we dig in? Shall we? Oh my goodness! So the first one we're gonna go PS4. Although it is a retro game in some ways, and it is Tales and Symphonia, the remastered Chosen Edition. So I think this is the only way you can get this. And I got this from CEX not too long ago, a couple of days ago actually. It comes with a nice little steel book. I've not played this. I've only played one Tales game, and I was going to start this on PS3 recently, and I decided not to. Yeah, so this is originally, I think it's a GameCube game originally. I believe a lot of people say this is their favourite, although it's not the best, if that makes sense. I guess the story's a really good story on this one, but yeah, this was 10 quid from my local CX. So I had to grab it. It's one that's only just recently come out, I believe. So yeah, this is sort of like a not turn-based, it's a JRPG, sort of like you have, I think basically you have control of 4 different characters that you can sort of like use different attacks at the same time. It's a really weird way of playing because you're on a level playing field, but you can change into 3D. It's really weird, but pretty good. I really like the art style. It's very whimsical. So yeah, don't worry. That's the modern out of the way. Let us do some PS2. So a while ago, Craig's here again. He's starting up his fighting shrine again, and in doing so, he's been picking up a lot of items, games, statues, and everything like that. And he picked up this recently, or at least he played it recently and showed it. And I was like, do you know what? I need this back in my collection again. So, originally sold to Mark Geordie Slasher, I've now collected back into the collection Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Of course, I had to get it back. It's such a good game. I think, to be honest, I think this is one of the favourite of the old Marvel vs. Capcom games because it's a little bit more simple. The modern ones are a bit too flashy. There's too much going on. You almost feel like you're watching some events unfold. And plus, like, I don't really enjoy these games. I'm not really a fan of the more simplified buttons and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a great one to have. It's the original sort of art style where it's pixel graphics. You cannot beat sprite based for me. I mean, I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a good game, but the modern visuals kind of ruin it for me. Although it is probably one of the better looking ones out of like the sort of like modernized versions. But yeah, this is great. Is it a better cover than the PAL one? I don't know actually. I'm kind of like both. There's a lot of going on here, but for some reason it seems a bit flat compared to the PAL version. But can't get the PAL version because I've already owned it, so I have to get this one. It's got some bubble in it, and this has got like the Dreamcast style artwork on the actual manual, which is pretty cool. I like how the fact you've got different artworks to enjoy. Next up, I got these for absolute steal. I always remember Mark Burnt Out Culture getting this ages ago, and I can remember him going, this is one of the most expensive PS2 games you can get in Japanese, and I was like, bloody hell, that's a lot of money. Somehow I got it less than what he paid for back then, and it is Radaji. I can't remember what it is. Radaji something. It's the sequel I think it's the sequel. This is the sequel, isn't it? I always get really confused with the Radaji chronological order. Now Radaji 2 has just been released. even though it's like the 5th game in the bloody series or something. Confusing the hell out of me. But yeah, like I only got this because it was so cheap, and I kind of had a bit of a PS2 shooter kick. I can't remember how long ago I got this. I think I just moved into my house when I got this, so about 2-3 months ago. And yeah, I love the visuals of this game. It's such an oxymoron, this game. Love the visuals because they're so cartoony, so colourful. However, I always find getting really lost in the game, like where I can't really enjoy playing it because everything just merges together a little bit. I really want to enjoy this series. I want to love it, but I can't. I just can't. But I can really appreciate the box art. It's great, and these PS2 cases feel so much different than our PAL versions. They're like sort of like thicker plastic and like really smooth. Feel great. I could probably rub this all day, but I'm not going to because we're doing some more pickups. And next up, another Dreamcast to PS2 port. It is Trigger Heart Excellier. Now this sort of fits in the same realm where it's like really colourful, really cute. However, I really love this game. I've only played it on the Dreamcast, but the PS2 port I believe is quite good, and if not better. I think it adds a few extra things. Annoyingly, when I bought this, I think I paid like 30 quid for this, which is quite cheap. But then, like, as soon as I bought it, not as soon as, but about a couple of weeks later, Craig here again posted a load of games that it was for sale, and he had this game, but with like the special edition Gumph that comes with it, and I was like, oh, good, I would have liked that to fill up the walls with. Although not that I've got any space left. But yeah, great game. If you're into shooters that are like a little bit colourful, a bit more like engaging. Not just like an army-based sort of shooter. This is the one. And there we go. There you go, Marcus. A couple of clicks for you. Next up, we have got a load of dusty old tat. So, yeah, if you remember, so I got these just recently. These are the last things I've actually bought. I bought a couple of lots, so I've got a few spare over as well for sale. Probably take them to Dana's next event for sale. And I won't undercut Mark Sega Mags. But yeah, it was because of Mark Sega Mags' great deals on Superplay that I just kind of got the bug and had to go out and find some bargains. So this is the worst one of the lot, and it is Superplay issue 1. I'm not too sure how hard it is. I know sometimes with issue 1s they can be really easy to find or really hard to find because everyone wants to get them. But like I said, this was in a bundle, so really pleased to get that. Next up, issue 3, which is the Christmas edition, featuring Chunners, Spider-Man, and oh my god, who is that bloody lion there? Think, who could he be, people? And then R2-D2, of course, from Super Star Wars. So really cool. Next up, we have got this is quite interesting, actually, quite an interesting cover, because this is Assault Suit Vulcanin, which we later got as Cybernoid. So yeah, it's quite cool that like the Japanese version was blazoned on the front cover of this. This was my favourite magazine of choice back in the day. Unfortunately, most of mine got ripped up, well not ripped up, but cut out, and I had like a big wall of just magazine cuttings, just like a big collage. So unfortunately I ruined mine, but I always remember trying to draw the covers and just the artwork inside because I just loved it so much. Next up, we've got issue 13. This next lot are in like flipping perfect condition. So yeah, who is it on the front of this one? A girl playing soccer. Kick it. I guess it's just, I think this is just like a football special, but just drawn by the resident artist. I can't remember who the artist is, but I'm sure someone can tell me. R-Type 3 on the cover. Fantastic game. I don't think I played this back in the day. I only played R-Type 2 on the Amiga, and then Super R-Type on the SNES. And yeah, it was like, I didn't really love it, I didn't really hate it. I was just an Amiga kid, really. This one is amazing condition. Another Christmas edition, too big to handle. An Avalanche SNES game, so that's how I feel like as a collector now. But yeah, nice gold cover, and I suppose it's really nice to have it in great condition when it's like a gold cover like that. Next up, we've got Skyblazer. Fantastic game. Want to get that, but that's pretty expensive on Super Famicom. Next up, one close to my heart and one that we never got in the UK, even though this is on the front of a UK cover. Ultimate Parodius, the maddest game yet from Parodius, from Konami. Yeah, and then you got like Kid Dracula on there, Goemon, like crazy, like how much stuff that we never got that was on the front of these magazines. Next up, we have got, I think he's from Dragon Ball Z, is he? I'm not very big on Dragon Ball Z, but yeah, great. On the back, Biker Mice from Mars, a game I used to love to hate because it wasn't rock and roll racing, but I love Biker Mice from Mars. And next up, Mega Man X2, the game that no one ever got, because so that's the reason why it's so bloody expensive. I always got confused so much with the Mega Man X games. I thought it was just Mega Man 10, but I was like, what happened to the ones in between? Yeah, so that's my dusty old paper out of the way. I thought I'd go through them quickly. If anyone wants to see anything in the magazines, I love these. I've been reading through these the last few days and it's been great. But yeah, going from the Super Nintendo magazines to Super Nintendo cardboard, we have got Sparkster. So I chucked in a load of games at CEX, and this was sort of sitting on the shelves. Well, it wasn't sort of, it was on the online app. So I was like, let's take a punt of it, let's go. There was a few in stock at the time, and it came and it was in flipping absolutely fantastic condition. It's got a bloody bow there that wasn't there before. I think I've ruined it. But yeah, it was in such good condition. I was like, I'm a bit concerned at the box because it has no manual. So it comes with a baggie, but no manual. So I was like, this just looks in too good condition. But as you can see, it's got the grey cardboard. It does look very, I don't know, it still has got like little dinks in it. I was like, if people put dinks in there just to make it look sort of like more vintage. There's a bit of sticker residue there as well. But the thing that really worried me, I think more so, is there's quite a lot of these on eBay as repros, and this has got a, sort of like a cut mark along the top there. So I did a little poll on Instagram saying, do you think this is real or do I need to return it? A lot of people said it was real. A lot of people did, but more importantly, Retro Ghetto Callum reached out to me and he's got a copy of this. And big thanks to him because he made sure that I kept this. So he sent me photos of his box. Looks very, very similar, including the cut marks here, which was really good. Retro Ghetto, hardest working man on YouTube. Like honestly, I don't even have time to watch all of his videos. Never mind how much time and effort he puts into making them. But yeah, high quality videos. Great guy, and thanks again for going through this with me, because this is a game that I've been wanting so much. I wanted this on Super Famicom as well, but I already had this, and there was one that came up for sale on eBay, but it went for more than double than I paid for this in CEX credit. So yeah, I still don't think I'll be getting the Super Famicom version anytime soon. But if I do, I'll probably punt this on to pay for it. Because ultimately I do want to have a Super Famicom collection. But that being said, I'm really pleased to get this, and I'll on the lookout for a manual. So if anyone knows of a manual, just let me know, and then we can see if we can piece it together for the cheap. Right, so I've already done the magazines. I don't know why I'm doing that. Right, so PC Engine. I've got a big stack of PC Engine up here. I can't remember what I've got. I just put them all together. I can't remember if I've even played all of them. At the moment, my PC Engine's poorly. So in the move and everything like that, I somehow misplaced the end of it's a third party power brick that I've got in it, so it can work on UK power, and it has like a sort of breakaway piece, and the breakaway piece has gone missing in the move, and I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to buy a new power brick. So I've not played any of these PC Engine games, which is very unfortunate, because a lot of these I've been wanting to play for the longest time, including Terranigma. So this one looks a very interesting, sort of like sci-fi shooter, really cool. And the reason why it's quite highly esteemed, because it is featuring the art of, where is it? Sid Meier. So he is very famous for doing sort of like sci-fi artwork and everything like that. And he was brought in to help with the visual look of this game, which is really cool. And like, it's a shame we never got to see anything like that over here. I think this came out on TurboGrafx in America as well. But yeah, this is a really cool one to get. Really pleased to get this one. It's a side-scrolling shooter that is sort of I think it's like it sort of goes up and down a little bit, where and sometimes left and right, which is quite unusual for some shooters. But yeah, this is really cool, and because this is a CD game, I've not had a chance to play it yet. So yeah, I've only played games on Everdrive. So if the hot chips, if the chip cards, then I've tend to have played them, to be honest. Next up, another one I've still not to play, Metamore Jupiter. This is another side-scrolling shooter. This one, it's very old school-esque graphics, if I remember correctly. One that people don't really talk about that much, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, like, again, I think this one sort of like has that sort of like all over, like a more explorative sort of style of shooter. Interesting to have. Next up, we have got Final Blaster. Now, I have played this one. This is a Namco game. This one is a turbo chip, not turbo chip, I can't remember what they're called. HuCard, that's it. HuCard game. But yeah, can't remember. I think this is a side-scrolling game, but I'm not too sure. I always get this mixed up with Barumbara. I always thought I had this game, and then I thought I'd have a proper deep dive and look at what games I was missing, and yeah, that definitely was there. So fortunately, not too expensive, unlike this one, which is a game I've actually not played it, but it is Powergate. So yeah, really pleased to get this. A guy that most of these have come from a seller, a guy that is selling all of his collection. He had a almost full collection, and very pleased to get this one. And oh shit, you can tell the ones that have come from him, because they come with sort of a dodgy, soggy flipping original card, but then he's replaced them all with these sort of like modern card covers. I bloody flipping dropped this. So yeah, very thin, crappy manual for a thin, crappy game. But again, I'm kind of going for a full shooter set, so very pleased to get that one. Next up, we have got Honey in the Sky. Again, a very silly one. Also in, oh, I've not got a crappy thing, I've just got a more modern one. So this is, there's Honey in the Sky and Honey in the Road, and he basically looks like a little condom that's like floating along and shooting things. What I like about this game is there is a little comic book inside where you can see him doing his little ghostly things or whatever he is. I don't know what kind of character he is. Fortunately, he's not an expensive game or anything like that. So that's a good one to have got. What else have we got? Sidearms. Now this one, classic Capcom. But yeah, I've already got this, but I've got the CD version, and this is a HuCard one, again with the extra gumph. So yeah, collector issues, isn't it? PC Engine have got quite a few games like this where there is a HuCard version and there is a CD version, and they're all slightly different from each other. But yeah, classic sort of like multi-directional shooter. Pretty cool. Very basic and original though. Talking about the same game twice, or sort of third time, we've got R-Type Complete. So it comes with a spine card and everything like that. So this is basically, if anyone knows PC Engine, this come on HuCard, but it came over two HuCards. You had to buy the game twice, like R-Type 1 and R-Type Part 2. This puts them all together onto one CD and has a different soundtrack. Now, I've not heard the soundtrack on this, to be honest, but I hear a lot of people say it's not as good as the original that is on the chip on the HuCard. So quite interesting to play this. I've been really enjoying R-Type the last year or so. Since I did the Master System Challenge, it kind of brought me back into it. And next up, again, and one I've not played because it's on CD, and we've got a big hitter now, and it's Steam Hearts. So you might remember a couple of years ago, I picked this up on Mega CD on Sega Saturn. I've sold that on to help pay for coming here, but yeah, I've now bought it again on PC Engine. So if you don't know what this is not quite a hentai shooter, but it's a shooter that has like lewd cutscenes in between. However, it is actually highly regarded as a good shooter, so it isn't just a what's my. We're near the end of the video, you can tell I'm losing all of my words. It's not just a gimmick shooter, it is one that is very sort of like highly esteemed. Yeah, I think the PC Engine one is a little bit more risque as well than the Sega Saturn one. And next and last, oh my god, oh, this is a stupid buy. So yeah, I've got a bloody graded game. What am I doing to my? What am I doing in my life? So yeah, this is what is it? Tokadaka? No, what is it? Hana Takadaka or Long Nose Goblin. I always remember first time I ever saw this game. Tootie had it. Tootie bought it in Blackpool. What's it called? Blackpool. He's been doing me some great deals, and this case point, he got this in a big lot, he says. So he says it pretty much owed him nothing. So yeah, I got a great price off him, and I've got quite a novelty. I'd never thought I'd ever get a graded game. So at least it's not by them other idiots. It's a VGA graded one. So yeah. Wow, that's a lot of games. I need a bloody rest now. Anyway, I've still got a massive box over here, including about 2 lots, maybe 3 lots of games that I've got from Craig's Here Again. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope I've not sent you all to sleep, and I'm still holding this, aren't I? See you later. Bye.